This following video is presented by Presence Consulting Group, where we commit ourselves to your project's success. For more information, please visit our website at www.presencecg.com. Our topic for this tutorial is using Batch Meister Wizard and Iron Speed Designer, and our presenter is Iron Speed MVP Herman Chan. For questions after seeing the video, please email Herman at herman.chan@presencecg.com.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching our Iron Speed video training series. My name is Herman Chan from Presence Consulting, and we provide quality solutions to companies like yours. Today we're going to talk about how to use the Batch Meister Wizard in Iron Speed Designer. First thing first, what is it used for? It is basically for applying system-wide where clauses and formulas to existing fields or queries that you want to implement throughout your application. So by using that, of course, we save a lot of time because we don't have to put in the same code over and over again on different pages or different tables. There are three ways to use the Batch Meister Wizard, and I'm going to go through those in details in this video. But on a high level, there are three different insertion points. Field initialization lets you put in default or calculated values in fields when you are updating or adding records to a table. Field validation lets you put in a validation logic and apply it to all the fields which are named the same across tables. Global where clause is more about viewing across application pages. Once you apply the system-wide formula, your users can only see his or her own data. First, we want to revisit our database structure. This is the same asset management database we have been using in all of our videos. And in this video, we're going to be using the four audit trails fields under asset family, manufacturer, and the product table to demonstrate how to use the Batch Meister Wizard for field initialization. They are create user, create date, update user, and update date. And in order for it to work, they have to be named the same, and their data type should be the same as well. For field validation, we will use the registration date under the user and account tables. And finally, to show how to limit users who can only see their own company's records, we have the product table, and under that we have the account ID, which is a foreign key, and of course each user belongs to an account as well. So I already have my application prepared. To access the Batch Meister Wizard, you have to go to Tools and launch it from there. And like I said earlier, there are three different scenarios you can insert your formulas, and those are the ones. Initialization, validation, and where, the global where clauses. So first thing, I want to demonstrate how to use the initialization formulas. See that I already have those four create date, create user, update date, update user formulas set up. And if I highlight one of them, let's say create date, and here is the drop-down list for all the fields across tables. So in this case, I want to select create date, and for every table that has create date column, on insert I want it to default to use today's date, and this is where we can insert our own formula. It's pretty handy to use formula, and of course you can right click and then you can see all the existing functions to use some advanced formulas. And similarly, we want to do the same thing for create user, and in this case we'll be using the username method under the inserting. For update, is a little bit different this time. Instead of inserting, we want to specify updating, because what it means is that for every table that has the update user field, when they're updating that record, then we are replacing it with username. So when you're creating a new record, in this case, it doesn't because it's inserting instead of updating. So the update user doesn't get the values filled in. So it's the same thing for update date as well. We're putting it under the updating scenario. Since I already built it, I'm just going to run the application. Let me log in. So now I'm logged in with my own account, and the three tables that we have, those four fields would be asset family, manufacturer, and product. So let me show you how this works. Under asset family, because we have those four fields, so IronSpeed picks that up already and has that logic in place. So when I'm adding a new asset family, say for example I'm adding cameras, see my username and my today's date is being inserted automatically because it knows. If I'm doing it on manufacturer, and in this case I'm not going to be adding new stuff, I just want to edit some stuff, and my username and the date are being correctly filled in on the update user and update date instead of the create user and create date. This is because I'm updating a record instead of creating a new record. So before Batch Meister Wizard, we have to go into the database tab for each table and then select those and put in our formula in here. With this tool, now we don't have to do that. It detects all the columns across tables and apply your formula. Next, I want to show you how to do field validation using the Batch Meister Wizard. Right now we have the field registration date on both account table and user table. So in account table right now nothing is being validated, we haven't turned it on. So let's go to the edit account. We can select any date, like a date in the future, save it without any problem, and then let me do a date in the past in the user table. So this is the registration date, and I'll pick a date in the past. No validation, so I can pick any date. But then if I go back into the IronSpeed Designer, go to Tools, Batch Meister Wizard, and go to the Validate tab. See that I already actually have the rules written, but then I haven't turned it on. One thing good about the IronSpeed Designer on this page is you can write your rules and then you can just do the checkbox check or unchecked to turn it on and off. So let's examine this rule. You go into the edit mode, and this is the basically the same dialog box almost, and you pick registration date, and there are two scenarios or insertion points you can specify whether you want to do it on updating or inserting or both. And in this case we want to do it on updating, and this is the formula. If we are comparing the registration date with today's date, and there are dates, and there are number of days, which means this is going to be a future date, we want to throw an error or a message that says registration date cannot be in the future, and doesn't allow the transaction to go through. So click OK, and this time I checked it on and rebuild the project. logged in as a different person this time so I can see all the records. So under account, if I go to select a different date, in the future, and it shouldn't allow me to do that. And here is our message: registration date cannot be in the future. And the same thing for user table. So we'll pick a future date. The validation is active as well, versus if I just put any date in the past, it will just accept it. So again, basically we are selecting a field that is existing in both tables, with the same name and the same data type. And now using the Batch Meister Wizard, we don't have to go into the database tab and go through each table. We can just launch it for all the tables having that field. The last thing I want to show in this video is how to apply a global where clause throughout the whole system using the Batch Meister Wizard. This is particularly useful for application being used by multi-companies. So basically it's called a multi-tenancy application. Or if you're building something like a CRM and you want each salesperson be only able to see his or her own records, that could be done as well using this method. So right now I want to show you how it is being done first and show you the difference in the views. So under IronSpeed Designer, if we go to the Batch Meister Wizard, under the Where tab, I have this activated already. And if we click on Edit and see this rule, right now I have chosen field account ID in the field drop-down list, and it will go search for all the tables that have account ID, and make sure when I'm viewing those show table pages or edit table pages, I can only see the account ID of this logged in user, and this is the formula that you have to put together to return the correct account ID. So let me show you how it looks from the application. Right now I'm logged in as Frank, who belongs to ABC Clothing account. So under the account page, I can only see ABC Clothing. And by the same token, if I go to the User tab, I can only see all the users under ABC Clothing. There are some other users under a different account, but I'm not able to see that. The same thing goes for the product table. I can only see products that belongs to ABC Clothing. So let me log out and log in as a different person. I have another account called test1 at presentcg.com. And see, if I go to the account page, his account is Best Furniture. I'm not able to see ABC Clothing. And if I go to the users, I'm only seeing two different users, and they're both users of Best Furniture. Same thing goes for products. I can only see products that belong to Best Furniture. So I hope you find this video beneficial. If you need help with the project, give us a call. See you in the next video.